let's start with the announcements. What are the new developments when it comes to, it's not AR Core that has a new development, it's just the Daydream headset and the phone.
So two things we announced today. One is the new Daydream View headset. It's an update to a product we announced last year that makes all the things that people loved about it even better. So it's more comfortable, the optics are better, so you can see more in virtual reality, and it's really all about taking you places, letting you experience things like you're there. Also, on the new Pixel 2 phone, we announced that it's been optimized for augmented reality. And what that means is we've made the optimizations to the camera and the sensors so that when you place digital objects into the world around you using augmented reality, they appear more realistically there.
So that's one great example. Why is Google interested in this, across all of the various products?
Yeah. Well, if you look at some of our core products, search, maps, tools in education, we see augmented reality really enhancing and extending what we can do in each one of those areas. So we talked about the idea of holding your phone up and having it tell you what you're looking at. In something like maps or navigation, I think we've all experienced getting out of the cab or the subway and you look at the blue dot on the flat map and you're trying to figure out which way is which.
And you walk 3 blocks in the wrong direction.
That's right. You walked in, oh, not that way, you walked that to figure it out. Well, with augmented reality and more precise mapping, which will come in time, your phone will just be able to overlay footsteps, right, on the sidewalk, taking you in the right direction. And then in an area that I'm personally really excited about, education, we've seen huge promise in both virtual and augmented reality to help students connect more with whatever they're learning about. So augmented reality, for example, could bring a scale model of the Roman Colosseum or a tornado into the classroom and let a whole class of students walk around it as if it's kind of there.
Now, the virtual reality wave in many ways hasn't quite hit yet. It hasn't gone mainstream as some people thought it would. Do you think it was overhyped?
I think there was a lot of excitement about it. And I think with any new promising technology, people tend to overestimate the impact in the short term and perhaps underestimate the impact in the long term. And I think we're kind of right in the middle of that right now.
Do you think the same thing could happen with AR in that it will also be overhyped and take longer to come to real reality than some people think?
First of all, I believe unequivocally in the potential for augmented reality. But yes, in the near term, I think people may look at it, wow, that's new, and assume that everything will play out over the next 12 months. I think the reality is a lot of us, developers, users, companies like Google, we're going to be learning about how best to apply it in the near term. And on the other side of that, building more of the applications and underlying services like mapping for augmented reality. It's only on the other side of that you'll really see real engagement and strong use.
Are you being asked to come up with a business model for all this?
Well, we're approaching augmented and virtual reality in the same way Google has always approached products, which is let's get the product and the user experience right. And then if we do that, we assume that opportunities for monetization and to build a business around it will emerge. And so we're still very much in that first phase.
What might a business model look like?
Well, one of the things I'm really excited about builds on virtual reality's ability to take you anywhere. So imagine for whatever sports team you love, right? I've gotten very into the Warriors, as has everyone else around here recently.
Indeed.
But imagine you could buy front seat courtside tickets to a Warriors game, right? And put on some glasses and really feel as if you're courtside at the game. I think there's something really, really interesting there, right? That lets you connect more fully with teams and subjects you're interested in and so on. And then I think on augmented reality, there's huge potential, especially in and around shopping and commerce, where you want to understand, well, is this thing going to fit on my counter? What does this piece of clothing actually look like? Let me zoom into it. Augmented reality will enable you to answer many of those questions better. And of course, shopping and commerce is core to Google search and our advertising business. So we see some very natural extensions there.
Do you think that putting on this headset and cutting yourself off from the real world is really something that's going to be a big part of the future?
Well, I think you highlight one of the key problems right now to solve in virtual reality, and that is letting you go places with other people rather than disconnecting yourself from those you're with or where you are. bringing that along with you. And I think that's one of the challenges. We're taking baby steps in that, actually, with this year's update to Daydream by, for example, letting you mirror exactly what you're seeing out to a Chromecast or a television so that others can follow along with you. But I think that's one step, and we've got several more to make before it really feels like you can go places together and you're doing this right together with other people as opposed to on your own.